Not too long ago, we had a bit of maybe I had a bit of a change in philosophy. When we kind of go, well, we got to be fair. We kind of criticize this side of that, so we got to criticize that side of that as well. And I had a little moment where I went, you know what? Sometimes it's different. Sometimes you can criticize this side of that, but this side's allowed to do it for whatever reason. It doesn't always have to be 50-50. And the reason is, Chewie, if you are speaking the truth and if you are true to yourself and true to the facts and figures. So here's a little 60 seconds as to why Dave says he's not a good debater, but explains why he wins so many debates.
The secret, Ryan, that I'll share with you here is that I'm actually not that good of a debater. I'm not the most brilliant guy in the world.
I won't tell
I'm
anybody.
not reinventing the world. Well, I'm not as Douglas Murray thought this was a real gotcha. I'm not the expert. There are people who know this conflict and the history way better than I do. Norman Finkelstein can recite every UN resolution in his sleep. I can't do that. You know what I mean? But I know enough, and I just take the side that is the obvious correct side. Yes, and then that makes it very difficult to debate against, because the truth has this ring to it. When people say something rings true, the truth just has like a power that when you're in an argument, it's very easy to win it when you have the truth on your side. And so my experience has been that this has been, with the overwhelming majority of people, just calling out the insanity of this policy has been resonating.
And it's as simple as that, Whānau. If you're coming from the correct side, if you're speaking the truth, it's very hard to lose the debate. It's very hard. When he said that this afternoon, I realised my wife had some conservative friends and stuff, and they're cool. I like them a lot. But I'm not a very good person to argue with because I'm quite reasonable and I speak the truth. And I know there's going to be, if there's any crunchies out there right now, they're going to be, the truth. It's like, well, actually, anything we do on this show, we do our best to check the facts, to look behind what they mean, to see where they've come from, and we speak the truth. And I think this is a lesson for everyone, Chewie. If you're being honest and you're speaking the truth, you will win the debate. Maybe not even in the moment where someone can bring out something that fools people, but if we speak the truth, we win. And I think that's what's happening in Gaza. I mean, that's what Dave's saying. What's happening in Gaza? It's like 50. How much is enough? Hamas, they committed an act of terror, a war crime, killing the 1,200 people ish. I know there's even some debate about that, but that's fine for today's. You're at between 50 and 100,000. When is enough enough? Just when is enough? What do you mean? My Twitter feed today, man. I don't know why. I didn't even look at it. I just went through my feed. It's like people in pieces in Gaza. Maybe it was actually that cafe we're going to talk about. It's like, let's look at this, shall we? And let's look at your average cafe in Israel right now. When is enough enough? When food, people being shot at whilst begging for food. No, they don't do that. Well, actually, the IDF soldiers are now saying they are doing that, and they've been commanded to do it. Truth. Debate the truth. And the only way they can get around it, or think they can get around it, is to deny the truth. It's Hamas firing at those people waiting for the thing. And so they can choose to refuse to believe. I don't believe they actually don't believe. I think it's a tactic. But if you speak the truth, ultimately you're going to win the debate. And I just think it's great.
Yeah. I think, like, if you are having these discussions with people, this is a really key point. Like, it's always very attractive to try and come up with a clever, convoluted argument and that sort of thing. But if you distill down your objection to its most pure point, you are rock solid. You've got no ground to give. Yep. Like, if your argument is I think that Israel should fucking stop, and your reasoning is I think killing kids is bad, or my position is that war crimes are bad, that's you can't debate that, because your argument is actually I'm okay with a certain level of children being killed, or and some war crimes are justifiable. Like, it's you're on a hiding there straight out the gates.
And I'll tell you something. If I wasn't on this show, if this wasn't our show, I'd be more arrogant. I'd say something like, why you guys are lucky to have us is that when we need to be truthful about our own side, we are. What happens with the other side is when they need to be truthful about their own side, they're not. And that doesn't happen much in media today. Last week, we said yay to members of the government twice, and we said boo to the left one time because it was warranting of being critical. If you tell the truth, you're ultimately going to win. Even if the truth you have to tell is slightly uncomfortable and then it's about your side. If you tell the truth, eventually you're going to win the debate. Now, let's not be all Pollyanna about this and say win government or win the seat or win the House or whatever it is. But it means that you have just got a foundation to springboard off, which you never have. We never have to defend our position on Hamas and Israel. Because from day one, we went Hamas, act of terror, war crime. And that's the only debate they've got. Oh, so will you denounce October 7th? Yeah. Hamas committed war crimes. It was an act of terror. It was repugnant. They need to pay the high price for it. Will you denounce bombing civilians in buildings? Oh, well, they gave warnings. It's like, no. You don't get to do that. You don't get to do that. So I don't think, and it sounds really arrogant, I know, and I don't mean to be, because always when you say this kind of thing, someone will trip you up with one little point. But I don't think we've got anything that at any stage we will ever have to walk back about Israel and Gaza.